Hey everybody. So I've got this 2015 Mustang, and the problem with it was the fuel cover. The door itself was flopping in the breeze. It would close, but it would just like it would freely open. And just if you have this problem, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now I already fixed it. I'm not gonna reassemble it just to show you how to get this whole fuel door out, because it is a bit of a pain in the ass. But there's a couple of really good videos on YouTube on how to remove it. It's not terribly difficult, but it is a pain in the ass. There's one real good video, guy's working on a blue Mustang, and I think it's like that wrap or whatever, and you could see like in this area where he boogered it up a couple times. So I just put a bunch of painter's tape around here, and I doubled up a lot. You can even see like right here where as I was taking the thing out, it rubbed on here. So if you don't do this, you're probably going to scratch your paint, or you don't want to do that. So I taped the hell out of everything around here, and you're able to get the thing out. Now the problem is, this is like a door hinge. This is tough because I'm using one hand, but this pivots back and forth. You look at this piece, this is like a hinge pin, because this goes inside of this whole molded plastic bezel, and there's a hole at the other end, at the end of this thing in here, that this hinge pin goes through. And it will pivot and close, and you can see everything moving, and that's all well and good, and that's fine. When I took this apart, the spring and everything was still attached, but on the underside, and this is what I did to fix it, this pin, the hinge pin is what I'm calling it, goes all the way through, and there is a piece of, like if you look, I'm trying to get the angle right, if you look here, this is the hinge pin, and this is like, this here that my fingernail's touching is like a collar or whatever, but it's molded into this whole housing. There was one down here where you see I got these washers. I shaved it off with a sheetrock knife, a razor blade, so I would have more of this pin coming through. I've done this fix once before, but I didn't do this. The other videos will tell you, oh yeah, just push this pin, back in, reconnect the spring, and then you're all set. And that did work for me for about 6 months, 8 months, a year, or whatever. But then it started flapping again. So I said, okay, I got to do something else. Shitty design by Ford. There should have been like a little roll pin or something in here, but this is what I've done. Once you get this hinge pin all the way down, you see there's little to no gap in between this little collar, the molded piece of plastic, and the pin itself. You got to get this because it doesn't want to go all the way in. Oh, side note before I forget, on this hinge pin, I think it's in line with how it's facing like this. There's two little like little male tabs, and I didn't know this when I shoved everything back together. I was just like hammering the thing back in, and they align with two little like female inserts or whatever inside of this arm on the inside. So make sure when you put this pin back in, you've got everything lined up the right way. So I had to pause the other video just to see. So when the door is open like this, that's the orientation. So that's how it's got to look. So the hinge pin is going towards like the 4 o'clock position or whatever from this angle, and that's how. And this spring will go back together, but it's kind of you got to work to get it back in there. It's just you got to squeeze the hell out of it, but that's what provides the tension. Okay, fine. So again, on the underside, what I did with this is, like I said, I shaved that little piece of molded plastic off, and so I'd have more room on the pin itself. I took a 1/16 drill bit and drilled a little hole through the bottom of it to be able to put this. I had this little key ring or whatever just laying around. It's tiny, but I found a couple of washers in my spare parts and hardware drawer in my toolbox, put those on there, and now, again, with the main problem being this pin works itself out, and then the door starts flapping. So that's never going to happen again, and that's exactly what I was looking for. The reassembly, close the door, get that to snap shut. As you're going back into this, I mean, when you look at that, it's like, how the hell can this fit in there? But if I take this, the left side of that, and go in, you can see the fuel neck is kind of pivoting. And then you just got to, I'm going to stop right there because you just got to kind of like shove it in, which is why I have all the tape here, because you can see it's already touching and starting to rub. So just, be careful, take your time, tape the hell out of this area if you're going to do this, and, whatever. But that's what I did, and I believe this is going to work as a permanent fix, and that pin's never going to come out again. Thus, the door is never going to end up being flopping. So I hope this video helps, and let me know. Hope it works out for you. Later.